Day 239 for the vlog. The day rating was an 8. Got up and had to get back into work mode, which is a little different. I'm glad I reminded myself to turn the alarm on because I would have kept sleeping. But I had a little walk with the pup. I was able to talk to one of the neighbors for about 10 minutes. We did a little chat and then we were walking and chatting a bit. And we were talking about just like relationships and communication and what you're looking for, and how when you first start dating you want certain things, and now that you get a little bit older, a little more mature, you want other things. Like we were talking about, some people like, oh, I want someone that's such and such height, and like, okay, that's cool, but do they treat you well? Do you have a good personality? Do you guys even connect on any level? And so that was interesting. And then they're in the middle of doing a lot of work to get like promoted. So they're just studying work. And you're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm gonna have so much time, and I'm not. And normally I spend it studying. Like, that'll be a good problem to have too much time. So we kind of laughed about that and talked about some other stuff about them going rock climbing. Like a funny scenario with them and the friend. But I had a good laugh. It was a good talk. And then got to work. Work was kind of relaxed. I had to alter some days around to take some vacation time. And then talked to my buddy a little about costumes. Like, did you decide on anything? He's like, I have no idea, and probably just try to throw something together, something that I can do. He said maybe Ron Weasley or what's the other one, Ed Sheeran. It's like, yeah, there you go, do Ed Sheeran, and you can just bring in a guitar and some kind of leather jacket or something, or drop pants or something. It's like, yeah, I could probably do that. And can't remember what he said for Ron Weasley. He's like, what about you? And I said, maybe, like, I'm in the same boat. Because of everything going on, I haven't thought about it too much. But it's like I have a onesie, like a Chewbacca onesie, and I can just wear the Chewbacca onesie and then go to Target and look for the the Chewbacca mask and just wear that. It'd be more comfortable all day. So we laughed about that. And then came back, walked the pup, and got a little bit of playtime with her. And I don't think anything else happened on the walk. Yeah, just regular walks. Went to the bathroom, walked around, gave her a little treat, played catch a little bit. Then I got ready for my run. And I went to Crumble Cookie and I grabbed a box to share with a few of my running friends. And I just said, hey, before you leave, don't go anywhere. I got some cookies for you guys. And like, you just want to bring cookies? And I said, oh, it's in remembrance of my grandma. I know I can't cook as good as she does, but I can still feed people, and I think she'd be happy just sharing food with people. So it just brought me, I guess, a lot of joy today. And I told a couple of the neighbors too that I have a couple extra cookies, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get it to them tomorrow morning. If not, it'll be alright. I'm sure I'll figure someone that gives a couple extra cookies too. Even take them to work. But then I guess it was kind of weird. My cousin and his wife had texted me. They said, hey, just sorry about the loss. We had heard some spotty information, and we didn't know this was going on, and this had happened. And they just, one of them said it sucked because, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they just didn't recognize us anymore. And just the dementia or the memory loss. And so that kind of hurt. It, at the same time, we knew she was going through a lot. But, at least she's in peace. And her brother, it was his dad, was probably waiting for her. So just know she's not suffering anymore. She'll be okay. So it was really weird that the two connected today. Just decided to get the group something to eat, like a light snack, and that they had text and reached out and said, sorry to hear about your loss, and we miss her too. Oh, I mean, it was a good conversation, and it was funny. I had mentioned that it's like, remember when I was young and super picky eater? You had sent me down for like an hour and said, "What's your diet? What are you eating? You need to eat more vegetables. You need better food." And I said, I was a little bit stubborn and I was a picky eater, so I just kind of learned at my own pace. But you'd be proud of me. It's like when I just finished an 8-week challenge for fitness, and I did a lot of. I forgot to mention fish and shrimp, but I did a lot of fish, chicken, steak, shrimp with white rice or zoodles and other vegetables. So it's like, you guys be proud that they've come a long way. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me about health and food, and for caring enough to do that for me. So we had a nice heart-to-heart moment, and I guess more family bonding, which was nice. And I reached out to my cousin Jose and just checked on how he was doing. He said he's still dealing with everything and he still feels numb, which I said it's understandable. There's nothing that's going to really replace that connection you had with her. And just be happy that it was there and happy that you had it and you were able to feel that love for so long and have that family moment. And just maybe find a way to carry that on so that your nieces or nephews and kids can have that same love and can feel that as well. So it's just a lot of good conversations that had happened, and trying to find the light and the positive out of dealing with so much after a loss. So, good with the bad. And just trying to remember all the good things that she gave to us. And go from there. Oh, and then the one, I guess, bad thing that had happened with the run is my buddy Brandon had showed up, and it was so dark by the time we got there. I was looking at it, I was like, that looks like his size. But I don't know if that's him. And I'm glad he said something, because it was funny, because me and Jason were sitting there and like, yeah, there's another guy in our group who looked almost exactly like you. Like, same haircut, same colored hair, same shirt. You guys both wore red shirts today, and the same body type. So we had a little laugh about that. But the bad thing about it was that we had done it out 2 miles and back 2 miles, and he's like, another group had branched off from there and said, if you want to run an extra mile and a half, we're gonna go do this extra loop. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna go. I'm like, yeah, go for it. My legs are tired from the race. Jason said the same thing. He said he's still recovering a little bit. He said, go ahead, we'll meet you back down, and before you leave, make sure we catch you. Like, all right, cool. So him and 4 others went down in that group, went up a little bit more of a hill, and looped back around. Well, at some point he had lost his key. So we're all leaving, and he's checking his pockets. He had his light. He had a little heart rate monitor. He has something else in his pocket. I don't know if he did. No, he had his watch. But he was looking for it, and we're looking on the ground. He's like, oh, shoot. He's like, I want to go back a bit and find it. And Jason had to head out to go to a training session. He was training a kid. And then there's two other guys. I don't really know them too well, but we've talked to them once or twice before. And Brandon went out on the trail to go look, and he was kind of jogging, and they had walked on the trail overlooking. And I had put the cookies back in the car and grabbed my flashlight, and then jumped back out to go catch them. I met up with the two guys about maybe a third of a mile in. Talked with them for a sec. Like, did you any luck? Did you see anything? Like, no, nothing. How far is Brendan back? And they said, he's still a ways back. We saw the light, but didn't see him. So I went at least a quarter mile, maybe a half mile back in, and probably a quarter mile. And I found him, and he was kind of walking, looking. It's like I couldn't find it. And like, all right, man. Well, what can we do to get you to your car or your house? And he said, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, no, I can drop you off. You're fine. So dropped him off at his place. Had a funny little conversation about the movie I just watched yesterday with, what's it called? Yeah. Why can I see his face but not remember his name? Oh my gosh. He's got one of those like golden voices. Oh my gosh. Going in Style is what it was called. And they all got out from their punishment or their pension, and they're saying, let's rob this bank to get our money and save my house and family. It was funny. I was talking to him about that because he's a cop, and he mentioned something about not a getaway bag, but a tracking bag, a dummy bag, spotting bag. Something about the banks have a certain bag that has like a tracking detector in it, and so they can figure out who took it. And it came up that a certain area, someone had stole something and gone to that area and disappeared, and they couldn't find them. So it was a funny conversation. We talked about that movie. He's like, yeah, I just watched that the other day, so it's funny you bring that up. But the good thing is I'm glad I stayed there with him and got him back to at least his place. And I was going to give him a ride back to the car. He said he had a spare key at his place. He said he's going to help a buddy move, and so he said I'll just have him drop me back off when we're done. I said, okay, cool, man. Well, I'm here if you need anything. So I'm glad I stayed around. He said he would have had to run back, which would have been terrible, but after running 5.5 miles, would have been another 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-ish miles, at least 4, if not a little more, back to his place. So he wouldn't have gotten back till a little after 9 o'clock, which would have made for a long day for him. So glad I double checked, backtracked a little bit. I think I got an extra mile, 1.7 miles in, just to, where'd it go? Yeah, it was like 3.43, which I stopped it because there were so many people on the group run. We were walking at one point, and I just couldn't get around, so I just stopped the watch. But it was 4, everyone had 4 miles, it was 2 out, 2 back. And then it was 1.49 miles. I added on extra with Brandon. Anyways, I'm not disappointed with that. I'm just glad I stayed. Glad I stayed for a good friend. So that's it for the night. So run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.